44 birthdays never looked so humiliating. Oh, I'd almost feel bad for this woman if she hadn't tried to bring down the royal family. Meghan Markle decided to publish her own birthday message to herself, prompting ridicule on the front page of the Sun newspaper. Deservedly so, it has to be said. This was, of course, because Meghan decided, and we know that she is as ever, there is no team, everything is determined by her, and so she decided to post a happy birthday message to herself on the official As Ever website, celebrating the woman behind it all. She pours her heart, vision, and magic touch into every detail, and today we raise a glass to her. Happy birthday to our founder, Meghan. Oh! Then she launched new product, of course. We'll get to that in just one moment. But I've got to show you the reaction to this from Princess Carbuckle. Just as predicted, saying happy birthday to herself, because you all know there's no real team or we at As Ever. This is 100% Markle. Talking about Markle, the woman behind it all the failure. So corny. Of course, speaking of corn, do you remember that woman, Jamie Kern-Lima, with the very odd baby voice? Well, we've got a baby voice Instagram tribute to happy birthday, Meghan. I'm not going to do it. Wonder had so much fun making this for you. Can't wait to see what we learn on season 2 of your show. Things that no one ever said or thought. Thank you for being love, light, and such a generous friend to everyone you meet. Oh, okay, Jamie Kern-Lima. Do you want to ask how Jessica Mulroney's going at the moment on antidepressants, her life completely destroyed because of her friendship with Meghan Markle? What about all of the staff members currently in psychiatric treatment? Do you want to go and ask about the love, light, and generosity that Meghan Markle brought to them?
So here we go again. Meghan Markle's birthday celebrations have once again made headlines, but this year, it's not about the cake, the dress, or the guest list. According to insiders and former friends.
So I decided that actually Link Lauren's birthday tribute was possibly more accurate. Happy birthday, Meghan Markle, the Duchess of White Castle. We had such high hopes for you when you burst onto the scene in 2016 and conned the royal family into thinking you were a big Hollywood star. We all said, okay, this is who Harry has chosen. In 2018, we watched and cheered for your wedding, but then the wheels started to come off even more. You soon absconded to the US and accused your in-laws of racism, fabricating lies and falsehoods for your docuseries and reality show. What a fall from grace. British royalty to a reality star selling jams, jellies, and dog biscuits. You're a wannabe Kardashian, but the Kardashians work. You're one of the laziest women on earth. Here's to more rainbow fruit platters and flower arrangements in your fake kitchen. You're truly the next Martha Stewart, if Martha were bludgeoned in the skull and had severe brain damage. Best wishes keeping your story straight in this next trip around the sun. Of course, some of the mainstream media was suckered by Meghan's stunt. The Daily Telegraph saying a new image has been shared to mark her 44th birthday. But as the Royal News Network pointed out, this is actually an old image, probably taken in 2024 for American Riviera Orchard before that fell apart. Then we got the product launch. Just imagine thinking, I'm one of the most disliked women in the world at the moment. No one is particularly going mad for my birthday, but I know I'm going to turn my 44th birthday into the launch pad for my failed wine product. First, we got the ad. Of course, I showed you this earlier in the week, but the feet came out. And, oh goodness, that's quite something, given that... I'm not one to comment on women's feet, but just look online. Just look online. And then I got this little email, ding, 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 it's Meghan's birthday. And yet again, she has written something as if she's not talking about herself. So Meghan wrote, today our founder celebrates another year. She even put in brackets, happy birthday, Meghan. And tomorrow we're raising a glass to celebrate our newest release. We are thrilled to share that our 2024 Napa Valley Rosé is available tomorrow. Harvested under the California sun, this dazzling vintage embodies everything we love. It's where timeless elegance meets the spirit of summer. We've worked thoughtfully to bring these exceptional bottles to you, and more of your other favorite As Ever products are also being restocked shortly. There is so much to celebrate. Is there, really? And we're honoured to share these special moments with you. Cheers to birthdays, a new vintage, and the last golden weeks of summer. The As Ever team. And what was interesting is that some folk are saying actually there was one Instagram post in relation to Meghan Markle's birthday that actually felt a little bit more authentic than all of the other PR bullshit that she shoved down our throat. And it came from Tracy Robinson. What's interesting about Tracy Robinson, she's obviously married to the Paramount chief executive, and she's someone who doesn't need to go and check with Meghan. She's not like Jamie Kern-Lima. Meghan, can I post this? She just posts what she thinks. And so she posted a black and white picture.
The entire event was scripted from start to finish. Not a private moment, not a spontaneous celebration, but a carefully crafted production designed to spin a new narrative just in time. Multiple sources close to Meghan claim she orchestrated every moment of her birthday rollout, from who was seen in photos to who was mysteriously left out.
Of the two of them on a previous dinner at a diner with Meghan seemingly actually having some fun for once. And she wrote, "Oh, how I can laugh and dance with you like no other. You are sunshine in a bottle. Thank you for always making time to be such a loving and collected friend no matter what's going on in your life. You dance through the day with so much grace, light and love. I hope your wee posse of three is smothering you with hugs and kisses today, my dear. Happiest of birthdays, dear." Meghan replied, "Thank you, sweethearts. Right back at you, and happy birthday. You are 4. So, Angela Levin, our royal mastermind, Prince Harry's biographer, with me now. Angela, it's quite something, isn't it, to turn your own birthday into an opportunity to praise yourself with a social media message written by yourself about how wonderful you are. I think the mockery on the front page of the Sun newspaper, Angela, is well and truly deserved.
Completely. But the thing about her, I think the reason she's done it is because nobody could write it so nicely. Nobody could write it with such passion and recognize what an amazing woman she is. She's running out of people who actually want to work for her because she's always going to get things right. She's going to write things right. She's going to talk about things that's right. And you know, that's it. She has to tell everybody how wonderful she is. I mean, she's getting worse, actually. Whatever male thing she's got, it's outrageous to do that. You don't do that. You don't send it to about yourself, do you? But the other thing is there anything from Harry? No, I haven't seen anything from Harry. So maybe she's in one of her things that actually she should get rid of that and just talk about herself, because Harry's not saying a word in sort of making a big fuss about it.
No, because all Harry wants to talk about is not his estranged wife's birthday, Angela, but rather, I didn't punch my uncle and make him bleed in the nose. But we'll come to that. We'll come to that in just one moment.
Yeah, but I mean, he's going to get a bollocking, isn't he, if she doesn't say something. I don't think she doesn't want him to say. She needs him there to say, "You're wonderful, the most ever wonderful person I've ever seen. You're beautiful, you're so clever." And then she's got to need that. And if she doesn't get that, he's in big trouble and she will be in trouble for herself. I think actually she's finished altogether. You know, if you come so appallingly down just to say how you're so wonderful because you realised the day before that no one's going to say anything for you, that's the end.
Well, yes, and what's interesting, Angela, is Maureen Callahan and Kinsey Schofield have actually been discussing a new report that Meghan is actually close to being dropped by her agent, WME, which again would be even closer to the finish line. Watch this.
Meghan Markle is on the verge of being dropped by her agency, William Morris Endeavor. How often are we like, what the heck is William Morris Endeavor doing? What are they doing? Why is everything failing this much? She's supposed to have this team around her of people that are incredibly skilled and know the drill.
Well, this comes on the heels of, I believe it was a few months ago, Page Six broke the news that Ari Emanuel, brother of Rahm Emanuel, who is soft launching a potential run for president, very powerful family, had it with Meghan Markle and was like, she's not on my sheet anymore. She's not on my to-do list. Give her to the lower bottom feeders over here and they can deal with her, the likes of her. You know, she just burns bridges and makes enemies wherever she goes. She was so lucky to have the ear and the help of an Ari Emanuel, and she blew it up. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why they're giving sort of long runways for these inevitable goodbyes. Just issue the humiliation she deserves, you know? Say we're done with her. She's got no talent and she's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, Angela, I think that summary is very accurate, but in terms of your point, which that she's close to being finished, I mean, if she were to now be dropped officially by WME, that certainly adds to that.
Yes, I think people are now feeling they can say anything they like about her. We have had odd people who would say something that they don't feel that she's behaving properly or she's not very nice. But this now is such a torrent of nastiness about her. But people just don't want it anymore, and they don't think she's got much to show. I mean, she can't make cooking. She can't cook very well. She can't get particularly good wine. I've read that people don't think it's much good. And she doesn't seem to do anything. She doesn't look nice in any dress she wears, even though she tries very hard to look a bit like Catherine, but she can't manage that at all. People don't like it that she's gone on and on about the royal family for 5 years now. For goodness sake, you know, they're a wonderful family, apart from things that we'll be discussing later. But it's not how you behave. And on her own family, her mother's gone off. She can't bear working with her. You know, this is something particularly big because mothers are usually very patient with their daughters if they've just got the one child. And, you know, I think people don't care anymore. I think they're just whooshing out. They're being rude, they're being funny, they're absolutely highlighting it, because what happens if she wants to take all of us to court? She's going to have hundreds of people that she wants to demand that for an apology. You know, she's not going to get it.
No, and Angela, lots of people were saying, gosh, had she almost given her friends a script on her birthday? And I know that some people say, well, that just sounds like a conspiracy. But, you know, I read out the Jamie Kern-Lima post and then the post from Robbins. And then look at this, too, from Kelly McKee-Zyphon, who's like her BFF, part mom, she's described as, on Instagram. Happy birthday to you, sweet Em. You're pure magic, a force of fun, light, and so much love. Thank you for being the kind of friend who makes everything better and way more fun. Here's to the best trip around the sun yet. This captures us perfectly. Love you so very much. Now, did you notice, Angela, all three of those so-called best friends use these terms fun, light, love? I mean,
she
it
sent
feels
it to
very
them.
suspicious.
Please
Do you
say
think?
this. Yes, of course it's suspicious. I mean, I think with the podcast too have absolutely finished her off because, you know, all those women there, she wasn't interested in one bit. It was me, 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 me. And she let slip almost everything possibly ghastly about her. And I think that's what she's done. And now people think, who is this woman? You know, she's appalling about the people she's with and what she says. And I think that's not helped her one bit. I mean, trying to give a sort of fruit bowl is okay-ish, but not actually telling everybody non-stop about how wonderful you are when you're quite...
To which headlines were pushed to the media. And here's the twist. Some of those same friends are no longer playing along. One insider reportedly said, "It wasn't a party. It was a press plan." The timing of all this couldn't be more suspicious. Why? Because Jessica Mulroney, once Meghan's closest confidant, is preparing to release a bombshell tell-all.
Was her best friend, you know, her closest friend, even once she was within the royal family. And we spoke last week about the fact that she's gone through her own divorce now. But what's interesting is the Daily Mail is reporting that Mulroney says she now regrets becoming friends with Meghan and believes that all of the trouble in her life started at the royal wedding. Let me read you some of this reporting from Alison Boshoff. Surprisingly at root, one well-placed source says that Jessica herself traces her current unhappiness back not to her bruising online scandal, but to that glorious day in 2018, when she watched her then best friend walk down the aisle of St. George's Chapel in Windsor. So much so that now, rather than looking back on her brush with history with pride, a perfectly placed source revealed Jessica now says that she somewhat regrets becoming friends with Meghan. While she enjoyed all the exposure it brought for her at the time, that same exposure is what caused her social media rift to blow up in the way it did and led to the end of her friendship with Meghan and her marriage. The source adds, if she could go back, a part of her wishes she was never part of that wedding. She really did consider Meghan family, but now she sees that whole time as a dark cloud. And it also refers to the fact that Jessica Mulroney sort of made this final little dig. Sorry, that Meghan Markle made this final little dig at Jessica Mulroney by deciding to sign up the actress Mindy Kaling to be part of With Love Meghan. Wasn't a message to her former friend, as one source puts it with some restraint. That seemed very raw. So, I'm sorry, Angela. I trust much more what's coming from Camp Jessica Mulroney than the love and the light that's coming from Tracy Robbins and Jamie Kern-Lima and Heart Mom.
Yeah, what the problem I think was why it's so painful is that if you fall so much in love with somebody, you know, it's very difficult to put yourself back into the right sort of pieces. You know, it can be a man, it can be a girlfriend. I think this is what it was. Meghan was always hugging her, always kissing her. She was her lead bridesmaid. Her boys were the little boys for looking at the wedding, and she's got a daughter who was a princess. And you know, she just wanted her there for her all the time. And then when she didn't, there was this small racist thing. It wasn't actually very much, but she cut off instantly. It's bomb. It's like a bomb going off. And actually your inside can't take it sometimes. You just can't. It can take you a long time to get over it. And as she sees, she's flying away, doing everything she wants. And she's had a very bad time with her husband. You know, she could have been very, very badly affected by this. And she didn't expect it, you see. I think you always have to hold a little bit back to make sure you don't let somebody absolutely take you for advantage.
Angela, do you know someone who's got so much grace in show business and the entertainment industry? I've actually always been such a fan of hers. Pamela Anderson.
Yeah.
Remember her from Baywatch, but now she's going on this new path. I love it. She's in this relationship with Liam Neeson, which seems to be going really great. She's gone makeup free. And on the Andy Cohen show, Andy Cohen in the US was so desperately looking for a headline. And I guess you can't blame him, because quite clearly Meghan Markle did rip off With Love Meghan from Pamela Anderson's Love cooking show. But Pamela, she just wasn't playing ball, Angela, because she has that class. Watch this.
Did not see any similarities.
No, I didn't really look, but I mean,
yeah,
I didn't invent cooking shows or
yes.
shows, so I mean,
yes,
she's just doing her thing.
Bit of a contrast to how Martha Stewart has played the whole thing.
But when she took a turn to Ms. Markle, it sounded a little different. Take a listen.
What is it like to watch other celebrities, you know, Gwyneth Paltrow, Meghan Markle, going in your footsteps and following something that you've really started?
I don't mind. Good luck. And Gwyneth's been very successful, by the way. I think she's created quite an interesting body of businesses. She's admired. She's a fantastic. She won an Oscar, for heaven's sake, as an actress. You know, she's pretty powerful. Meghan, I don't really know very well, and I hope she knows what she's talking about. Authenticity to me is everything, and to be authentic and knowledgeable about your subject matter is extremely important.
And from what's leaking already, Meghan is very nervous. Could this birthday production be a preemptive PR shield, an attempt to shift focus and control the narrative before the truth comes out? Let's be honest, this isn't the first time Meghan's been accused of using personal milestones as media weapons. From baby bumps to Oprah interviews to curated charity visits, critics argue Meghan's public image is meticulously staged. The birthday bash appears to be just another move in the Sussex brand strategy. Control the optics.
Very classy woman. I actually love her. I love her reinvention. But what she said was, I just haven't looked. I haven't looked. It was quite a subtle way
of dealing with it. It puts her down the drain, doesn't it? It means you're not looking, you're not interested. She counts for nothing, and that's what I mean when I say people. I can feel able to say whatever they like, but there's not really compliments. I mean, this being so wonderful friend and all that, as you say. I mean, it's stuck on a piece of paper so that they remember that. Told by Meghan, but I don't think that anybody feels that she's accomplished anything. She's not been kind. She's not actually even allowed her father to see his grandchildren. He's not allowed his the king to see the grandchildren. She's being a really, really nasty person, and people now don't mind. They're laughing at her. She is a joke now.
Angela,
not a funny joke, just a joke.
A bad joke. What did you make of this? These beach pictures that were leaked to TMZ over the weekend. I mean, Nancy Sidley saw one of the locals trying to say, no, Harry and Meghan didn't leak these and it wasn't set up, and they're horrified about it. And she just said, listen, you guys, Harry and Meghan are perfectly normal and do not call the paparazzi. This woman says so, therefore it must be true. But what really shocked me is in the article with these pictures, TMZ was just so over the top positive about Harry and Meghan. Like their final line, Angela said, while the UK's summer fades into its usual rainy misery, Harry's clearly loving every bit of the Cali sun, proving the move to the States was the best decision ever. And we just know, Angela, that's not where Prince Harry's at all.
No. Well, I had something slightly different, which was that they're old pictures from 2021 and that they sold them to TMZ for $12,000 because Meghan wanted to show that Harry was there. They'd had a row. She wanted him to stay. So I don't know, but it did look a bit old, didn't it? I mean, it's not.
Well, because of course, the thing is, Angela, right, is that they obviously wanted people to think they were back together because of the fact that we'd heard about Harry's disappearing act in Africa. So it all just feels very convenient. But Angela, this week, the thing that Prince Harry decided to go public on wasn't anything to do with Meghan, but rather Prince Andrew. And this bombshell new book from the very, very good royal author Andrew Lowney, entitled, he's actually going to be here later in the week, and I'm really looking forward to being able to ask him about his reporting for outspoken viewers. But I mean, it's really like, gosh, here's the first headline, like in the Daily Mail, for example. Prince Andrew, his royal oafishness, sex-obsessed, vulgar, vile bedroom habits, and a Meghan bullying bombshell. Why Harry left him with a bloody nose. And this was, of course, this claim that they'd got into a fight. But what was interesting is Harry actually denied this, Angela, via People magazine. And a spokesperson for the Duke of Sussex told People, I can confirm neither of these things are true, also referring to what Prince Andrew had allegedly said about Meghan Markle. Prince Harry and Prince Andrew have never had a physical fight, nor did Prince Andrew ever make those comments about the Duchess of Sussex to Prince Harry. But as, according to Taz posted on this, Angela, he couldn't correct Omid Scobie on his Endgame book that named the King and Catherine as the royal racists, so Harry was happy for those accusations to remain, despite his father and sister-in-law both battling cancer, yet some expect Prince William to forgive him. And I did find it very interesting, Angela, this swift denial from Prince Harry. Now, obviously you're Harry's biographer, but this physical fight or alleged physical fight happened after, I believe, the period of your biography. But what we do know, Angela, but I'm interested in your view, is that Harry has a real temper. He has got into fights with his own brother before. I mean, he's admitted that. He's got into fights with lots of his own security guards and bodyguards and people who's trying to protect him. Like, lots of celebrities have revealed the fact that he can get very physical. So what do you make of all of the scandal surrounding this book and these allegations about Prince Harry punching Prince Andrew?
Well, it's interesting because Andrew Lowney keeps putting something up on X to say, oh, I'm so pleased he wants to try and take me to court. I'm looking forward to it. I've got masses of material to make me okay. Yeah. So it's coming up regularly, and I trust him. I mean, he's a very, very clever man, and he wouldn't actually say that in his book unless he had evidence. So he's either doing this as a marvellous joke that Harry will not do it, or, which I really think, that he's got material that Harry will not want to hear and be told about. But I think the actual fight was that it was against Meghan when it was said that Meghan wouldn't last a month. You know, he doesn't want her. He doesn't want to stay with her more than a month, and that she's awful, and that she's too old for him, and that she's a load of trash. And I think that's it, that he would get so angry, because the one thing in his life now that he's really, really angry about is trying to keep Meghan going, you know, because otherwise he's going to look such a dope, that he was so keen, he adored her, and you know, it's all absolutely fallen apart. So he's got to somehow keep it going in some way. I don't know how he can do it. He's got to be very, very brave to say, I'm realise now that I've made a terrible mistake. You know, it's not easy for anybody.
Silence the critics. Stay in the headlines. But here's the problem. The script is starting to feel tired. The public is growing skeptical, the insiders are talking, and the Mulroney revelations could shatter the entire act. If even Meghan's former inner circle is calling foul, how long can the illusion hold? The birthday might be over, but the real show is just getting started.